Well, it's August, hot and sweaty in the nation's capital, and instead of taking a break like the rest of the lawmakers, a group of Republicans are revolting. They descended on the microphones, demanding the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, call Congress back into session. These representatives want to vote on offshore oil drilling. MSNBC's congressional correspondent Mike Viqueira covering this story. Okay, so Mike, these are Republicans. If they really want to vote, why don't they go to their own guy, President Bush? Because he can call Congress into session.
That's right, and the Constitution says so. And as a matter of fact, some of these very people that you're looking at right now on that piece of video have written a letter to the president last week asking him to do just that. But the White House says today that they have no plans to do so. So these Republicans have turned their ire on Nancy Pelosi, who has blocked their efforts to bring a vote on more and expanded offshore drilling off the coast of the United States in what's called the Outer Continental Shelf to a vote on the House floor. Same thing going on in the Senate, as Democrats so far have not allowed an up or down vote on that, as Republicans are asking for. Last Friday, when the House went out of session to adjourn for 5 weeks, not to return Contessa until after Labor Day, it was sort of an organic, impromptu thing. Some Republicans, mostly conservatives, angry that they did not get an opportunity to have their voices heard, took to the House floor after the lights were out, after the microphones had been turned out, after the cameras had been turned to the wall, started giving speeches to each other, to their staff, to the galleries, where tourists, delighted tourists who were a little bit bewildered about what was going on, started clapping, and then they themselves were invited down onto the floor. So it was quite a spectacle, very unusual. They're insisting that Nancy Pelosi now be the one to call Congress, call the House back into session. That seems very unlikely. Nancy Pelosi has taken a very forthright stand all along against expanded offshore drilling. She calls it a hoax, an extension of the president's failed energy policy, and she is not going to be a party to it, even though that there are some now bipartisan groups emerging in both the House and the Senate who are looking for a compromise, a way out of this impasse, Contessa.
Mike Viqueira, thank you.
All righty.